Give him the forecast.
Omega level threat detected.
Ancient sands, heed my command and reclaim these relics of hatred.
Viewer discretion is advised.
If you just know you're that girl,
Yeah.
you just have no choice but to be that girl. And I feel like I'm that girl.
What if you don't wake up feeling like that girl? How do you be that girl?
You need to go back to sleep and wake back up again so you can feel like that girl.
There you have it, child. That's why I feel like I'm the T. I feel like I'm the T because I work at being the T. Like, no shade. I'm not the T just because a bunch of bitches like me and live for me because we all homegirls. I'm the T because I'm the motherfucking T. And that's just sad. I mean, that's just what it is. People legit in the world love to live for food. Love to live for food. You love to live for your bald head homegirl that just bald head whole shit. It's clear that I'm working at being the C, so girl, let me be the C. Like, give me that, give me my flowers.
Hello. 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 Girl, what's the T? Hello. Throw the scales of justice in the chat. Hello, God, if you can hear and see me clearly. Hello, God, now that the rain is gone, honey, okay? I have not done StreamYard in forever. What the fuck is all of this? What is all of this? What is this? What is that? Girl, whatever. I'm not trying to pay. Something is different with the comments. Girl, I feel so out of touch. I feel so out of touch. Sorry, y'all. I'm a little late. Child, I went to the gym earlier. And I was so like, I'm over food. I'm really, really, really over food. So I was like, I want to cook something. I need to cook something I haven't made in a while. So, girl, if you follow my Instagram stories, child, you will know that I had to throw it down tonight, honey. Okay, hello, God. I made some baked chicken. Okay, I made some homemade macaroni and cheese. Okay, I made some black-eyed peas, honey. Hello, God. Ooh, girl. I also made some Parmesan garlic buttered Hawaiian sweet rolls. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you something. And I started eating around like 8 p.m. and then the itis started to kick in. I was like, why didn't I just wait to eat until after the live? But that shit looked so good, y'all. I had no choice but to have me a plate and a half. Okay. And I made way too much. So I'm just, after the live is done, I'm going to bring some over to my brother, his girlfriend, and my little baby nephew child. It was so good. So good, honey. Oh, my goodness. That macaroni and cheese. Like, I know that there's a lot of people out there that believe that they are the ones, girl, for their macaroni and cheese. But I challenge anybody. Honey, my macaroni and cheese be macaroni and cheesing. Okay? Period. Period. Okay, y'all don't need to see my room. Bitch. Okay? Hello, God. It's a hot mess. Child, I didn't do nothing this weekend. I ain't do nothing. Honey, just went to the gym. Started topping again. Child, wore this. This guy was everything, honey. When I tell you, I folded him like a lawn chair. Hello, God. It felt good to get back into my toppery, honey. Hello. Hello. Wore him out, girl. Yes. Period, okay? And I'm going with my African hair today. Hello, God. My African afro girl. Hello, God. My African pick. Hello, God. My African everything girl. Grand rising. Anyway, Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't had a chance to do so by now, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And to go a step further, I humbly ask that you tap that notification bell. That way you'll be updated each and every time I'm uploading something new. Also, follow me on Instagram at YBSpeaks, okay? I am forever active on there, so please feel free to hit a bitch up, all right? Child, we all know why we're here. It's been a minute since I've been live. I heard through the YouTube streets that a lot of the girls were on vacation. They're enjoying their Memorial Weekend. And it just seemed like, let me fill the space. Okay, let me come through and fill the space since I have nothing going on. I did all my filth last night, girl. Late in the midnight hour. Girl, YB's gonna turn you around, honey, okay? And wear you out, bitch, period, all right? So I do understand that there are a lot of people that are not here with us tonight. I understand you guys are enjoying your Memorial Weekend festivities, family, friends, trade, because we know this is the weekend for sluttery, girl, for a lot of the bottoms down there, honey, a lot of the tops, the versatiles, girl, hello gone, the oral tops, the oral bottoms. We know y'all are out here, you know, galloping through the streets, girl. Hello gone. Like the snow globe December, girl. Y'all are out here worshiping the streets of life, child, hunting down trade. Okay, hello gone. So trade can pound you, honey. The trade can pound you, girl. The Memorial Weekend dolls. Okay, hello God. Yes. Hey, who am I to judge? I can't judge y'all. Girl, please. What's up with the comment section now? Why does it look so small? I can barely see anything. What's going on? I don't know what that is. But anyway, if I can't get to the comments, I apologize. It has been a million years since I've been live, and it seems as if StreamYard has changed their format for the platform. I can barely see the comment section. There's some button in the way that won't let me exit out of. So I don't know, girl. Let me try it again. It's not letting me. But anyway, I'll glance at my phone here and there. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys for joining me this evening for the live review of Chasing Dallas Season 6, Episode 8. It was not a long one. I do feel as if the apology tour should have just been this entire episode. Hello, God. Just because I want to move on. I would like to move on. We're at episode 8. Not sure how many more episodes we have, but if I were a betting man, we're at that end point. 10, maybe 10 episodes, 12, 14 tops, maybe. But if that is the case, I'm kind of disappointed that we haven't got to see more. Okay? I guess we can just get into the review, girl. I have notes, and y'all know I have to deep dive on some things. Hello, God. Okay? And again, shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you guys for coming through. I really appreciate it. Continue to like as you come in, leave a comment, girl, engage in the conversation. And at some point, I will drop the link so y'all can come up and give your thoughts. Okay? Hello, God. All right, so episode 8, we open this episode with Lamont, who is showing his chase. Thank God, but it still falls short for me. If you are doing an annual Valentine's Day calendar, right? That lets us all know, who are not stupid, that you have done this before. You said in the scene that this is something you put on every year. It's annual, which means you've done this before. So for the life of me, I'm trying to understand why we did not get a chance to see the past works of said annual Valentine's Day photo shoot. The same way, I'm disappointed that when Jayla was getting her ass up here, I do all these things. The only thing we got to see is you doing food reviews, but that's not what you're known for, so they say. I'll never know because I'm not going to search for it. Because as these girls cite and reference their works, which means things that they've already accomplished, things that they have done, I feel as if because we don't know you, hello God, we need to be visually seeing, and I've been saying this forever now, I need to visually see what it is that you're talking about. So in the case of Lamont, for this episode, I would have really liked to see what it is you were referring to. And because if this is Valentine's Day of 2025, which I'm sure it is, the calendar should have already been done. So at the end of the shoot, why didn't we get a glimpse across our screen, hello God, of the current photo shoot or the Valentine's Day calendar? You say in your confessional, oh, I can't wait for y'all to see this. Well, girl, I don't care to see it because we're sitting in summer, bitch. Hello God. We're roasting in the sun, enjoying the beach. Valentine's Day is over with. We're stepping into June. And we have yet to see the proof of the chase. Okay? And you go as far as to say in your confessional that, you know, a lot of the girls' chase is premature. Yours is too. Again, doing what you did to Tedley, which was next to nothing. Watching this little, I saw more of Chloe, hello God, in what was supposed to be your chase scene than I did of you in this one model that you had. So is the calendar like for every month, or are we just shooting for one of the months, girl? We're going to use the same guy, the same style, the same outfit, all wrapping it up in one day? If this is a calendar, we got 12 months, hello God, in the year. Or, okay, annual Valentine's Day shoot. So we're just doing one photo shoot for one day? So how now that I think about it, how is it a calendar shoot if we're just doing it for Valentine's Day? I'm quite sure there were more photo shoots that he held, and this was the only one highlighted, but I would have liked to have seen more. In this scene, you know, Kelly joins, Chloe joins, they're all having a conversation. Chloe and Lamont are low-key defending Donnie Moon. And you know what? I get it. But this is my thing. We're feeling bad for someone who also admitted in the last episode that his initial impression was fucked up. Right? If we're all seeing the same thing as viewers, I can only imagine what you saw and experienced as cast members. I can't feel that bad for someone who put themselves in that position. They got to take responsibility for their behavior, their actions. And a lot of times, too, y'all be defending people, and this isn't just Chloe for Donnie or Lamont for Donnie. It's for everybody across the board. Y'all be defending these people, but not realizing what kind of relationship they have with people individually. You don't know what someone else's experience was with them to make them not like a motherfucker. So sometimes y'all be putting y'all nose and y'all little 2 cents into shit you have no idea about. Okay? Y'all need to stop picking sides, and all of this defense can be going towards trying to tell your friend, your homegirl in Christ, where they went wrong, what they're doing wrong, and what they can do to improve. Donnie's boyfriend, Agent 47, hello God, was not ashamed to do that, was not afraid to do that. So if his man can do it, then his so-called friends, homegirls in Christ, can do the same thing, okay? Because at some point, you have to take responsibility. You have to show people the light, the error of thy ways. If you don't do that, that just lets me know that you're okay with their foolishness, and you're probably a lot like them too, and I can't mess with that kind of behavior, period. Chloe saying that she didn't like the way that they were attacking Glenn. You know what? I get it. There is no reason to attack Glenn. But I'm going to tell you the truth. A lot of people are talking about how Rio was like, oh, in the first episode, you were bowing down and talking about how you were a fan of him on Rookies. Glenn was the T on Rookies. But from what we've seen as viewers, and again, I can only imagine what they've experienced as actual cast members. You're boring, girl. You're boring. You're not showing anything. You're just showing up. You're not adding anything of value to the show whatsoever. So is Rio wrong? No, Rio was saying what we're all saying. Hello. Because last time I checked, we're all saying the same thing. Y'all just mad because it's a Mexican. Tell the truth. You're mad because it's a Mexican saying it. The same way a lot of y'all are mad. See, I went down the comments, girl, of this last episode, and y'all are some racist, discriminatory, prejudice-ass cunts. Not y'all, but y'all. Y'all read it, girl. So it's because it's not black. It's because it's Mexicans saying everything that we've all been saying and thinking throughout this season, right? The same way a lot of y'all try to comfort Zesty talking about, I don't like the way he's talking about Glenn and Mother being some dirty bitches. That's very aggressive and racial. Last time I checked, that's one of our go-to reads of a bit. You dirty bitch. You dirty hoe. You're a dirty hoe. You're a dirty bitch. You dirty motherfucker. Isn't that one of the things that we all go to? I don't link that to being racial microaggressions. Not at all. Oh, you're on EBT. Oh, and you're struggling in the projects. You're this and you're that. I don't see nothing wrong with those reads, and none of that seemed racially motivated to me. And y'all know that I am YB Speaks Truth, girl. I fight for the cause. I fight for the right. I fight for our freedoms. I fight for truth and justice. And I would be the first one to condemn him and the filth that comes out of his mouth if I felt as if that was actually the way he was trying to give his reads. Jeff as well. Rio as well. Not once have I bared witness to any racially motivated microaggressions from the Spanish squad to the black squad. Let's just tell the truth. The fact that a lot of you retarded ass people are in these comment sections with the foolishness of it all lets me know that it's not about the race for you. It's about the fact that these people are not black. They're actually being shown on this show the way in which you want your homegirls and them to be shown on this show. Guess what? Whether you want to throw Markel out there, whether you want to throw the whole brand away or put this blame or put this blame, my thing is this. History shows that if you got something going on, you're going to get the camera time. None of these cunts that y'all are trying to go to bat for have anything real of substance going on. Mother ain't got nothing going on, bitch. Glenn ain't got nothing going on, bitch. Who else, girl? Most of these cunts that y'all keep trying to go to bat for have nothing going on. And this is from the same community that'll sit here and step on your black ass. Tell the truth. We talk about the crabs in the barrel mentality. We talk about black people all the motherfucking time sitting here trying to push someone down that is of their own skin and likeness. Hello, God. The similar struggle. Bitch, your neighbor, your sister, your brother, your cousin. The people that you screw over, girl. And now you want to get mad. And you want to call out your racial bias in the comment section because you're mad. Because these girls are actually taking advantage of the platform and doing what they're supposed to do without being some nasty, decrepit, degenerate cunts like the girls y'all are used to. Girl, please. Girl, please, y'all better get it together. Not once. Y'all can say what y'all want about what Rio posts on Instagram. Girl, the truth of the matter is the Mexicans are like niggas. And I understood what the message was. Because guess what? It is the truth. If it's not white, it's not right. Now, again, I'm going to say this for the slow hoes in the back. They are not us, but their experiences are like us. I understand where the boy was coming from. And you know where the boy was coming from. All of y'all know where the boy was coming from when he was saying Mexicans are like niggas too. Now, should he have? No, probably not. Especially in the climate that we're in now. But I feel like y'all be wanting to get mad just to be mad because you need to be mad at something. And why not something that girl ain't black? Tell the truth. Not one time in this show with our eyes can any of y'all name one moment in this show where Rio, Jeff, or Zesty came off racist, said anything racist. Last time I checked, it was one of our own calling them wetbacks. It was one of our own talking about some, oh, you chose your friends on the other side of the fence, aka the Trump wall. Hello, God. It's y'all sending the micro racial aggressions towards the girls. Get in the comments. I want to know, or save it for when I drop the link so we can get into the things. I challenge you to bring me proof. Anyway. Chloe shares a little bit about her experience being mixed, as well as, you know, when she transitioned. She's not here for the black side of her family because they were the ones that disowned her. Meanwhile, the white side of her family still embraced her and accepted her for who she is. Honestly, girl, that's the story for a lot of the girls. Let's just tell the truth. The black family will disown you. The white family will also disown you. They'll accept you. It just depends on your family dynamic, the culture, the experiences. It just depends on a lot of things. My heart goes out to you. I'm sorry that you experienced that. But I wonder, is there some underlying, like, do you feel some way about black people because of that? Because the way in which you serve that, and I don't want to press on that too much because I don't believe that to be true, but it's a question that I do have. Because the way you brought that up, it gave resentment tease to black folks. Am I wrong? I don't know. Kelly lets us know that, girl, she is now contracted to be a reckless doll. Okay. My thing is this. We've yet to see anything. You flipping hair, girl, down to Chloe's studio, girl. You setting up meetings with no purpose, girl. You prancing around with your boyfriend. I need to see Kelly. You're this renowned hairstylist. Again, I brought it up in the last conversation we had about this shit. I need more. Because at this point, it's a legend for me because I haven't seen it. Have y'all seen it? I haven't seen it. And I'm not following no one's Instagram to see it. I need to see it on the show. So you're a reckless doll. You have time for that, but you don't have time to show us your actual chase. Okay, girl, I guess. Next, we have Jeff, girl. He went to dinner with his best friend. Apparently, he missed his best friend's birthday. Bought him a pair of AirPods because he was tired of seeing him walk around here with one AirPod. No one cares. This is what I care about. The conversation about Jeff's boyfriend. So, this is what I got. Okay? Shout out to everybody coming into the building. I really do appreciate you. Make sure you're hitting that like button, girl, as you enter the building, honey, okay? And engage in the commentary. I appreciate it, girl, period. And share it out. Let the girls know I'm talking about them. Bring their ass over here, period. Anyway, so apparently we find out, Jeff lets the girls know that him and this boyfriend, the one that we met during the Valentine's Day party, oh God, they have a past. They met on an app, right? And we all know the app is, you know, Grindel. Okay, Grinder, honey, Grindel, Grindel. Okay, honey, oh God, that's what it is. And from what I gather, was probably a fling late in the midnight hour vibes. Okay, you know, Jet Jeff got those lips plumped, girl. He's losing weight. His libido is up. Energy is up. Hello, God. And he's on the prowl, honey. Hello, God. Yes, honey. The Spanish Panther girl is out on the prowl, honey. Hello, God. And met Trade. Trade folded him like a lawn chair. Hello, God. And it seems as if they have like an off and on. You know, Jeff said over like 2 or 3 years being off and on. I get it, girl. That was your piece of trade. He probably lied and cheated and did all the things. Probably had you feeling like as if y'all were in a relationship, girl. That's what I'm gathering from the girl, because been there and done that, honey. Hello, God. I've been a delusional cunt too. Haven't we all? And now it seems as if during that time period, your best friend, what has happened to us all, had to bear witness to his homegirl crying, stressing over this Negro. Okay, girl, you know how it is, girl. You complaining to your bestie, girl. I've been there. Oh, I know Kat and Jace are over me, bitch. During that time period that I was going through it with prison trade, girl, let me tell you something, girl. I know, heard it all before, seen it, done it, been it. Oh, girl, it's a horrible time. And your friends have to bear witness to you being a dumb bitch. But they love you. They support you. They're going to be that shoulder to cry on, girl. Hello, God. I'll be there. They'll be there. Just call their names and they'll be there. Yes, honey. But deep down inside, they probably judging you. I'm like, oh, this bitch is so dumb. But since I'm a supporting friend and I love my friend, I'm going to be there for my friend. But when it's the right time, hello, God, and they can take the real truth of it all, I'm going to let this bitch know, you know you were delusional and a fool, right? So it seems as if Jet's friend was in that position. And he was over it. That's why Jet was nervous on sharing who his man was, because they have history. And the history is obviously not good, because towards the end of this conversation, Jet was kind of upset with his friend for not being supportive. Jeff, I'm going to tell you, like I tell all the queens and all the girls out there, especially from a bitch who's been through it, girl. Not to say, what was his name again? Bryson. Not to say that Bryson hasn't changed his ways. He probably has. Sometimes people ain't ready for each other in the moment. Maybe they do need a little maturing and growing, you know, to do before they're ready for you, before y'all are ready for each other. So maybe this is the time. But you can't blame your friend for not being all that supportive, because they remember what that boy put you through. They were your shoulder to cry on. They were your refuge. Hello, God. They were your strong tower. Hello, God. So you can't be mad at your friend for being like, all right, girl, well, hit me up when he makes it official. Now, that was a good read, and it said a lot. It spoke volumes to, like, what the kind of relationship y'all had. That boy was basically leading you on, and he was living his best life in these streets of Dallas, honey, hello, God, bumping and grinding on all of the reckless dogs. Period, honey. Okay. Period. So thirsty. So Jet, just be careful. I hope it works out. Bryson seems like a nice looking young man. And you know, I get it, girl. Maybe now is the time. I guess. All right, bro. Let's move on. Jet, I just want to say this for the last time. For the last time, Jeff. Come here, daughter. Come here. Come a little closer, Jeff. If I hear one more motherfucking conversation about loyalty as it relates to Tedley, I'm going to fly to Dallas myself, okay? And I'm going to slap some sense in your motherfucking ass, bitch, okay? I'm over it. Pay attention. You watch my reviews. I appreciate it, baby. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm telling you. If you go back and watch the seasons that y'all have been a part of together, you will see that there is no basis for your argument for loyalty. Okay? Period. All right, so next, Donnie meets up with Rio in hopes of apologizing and moving forward with some type of mutual understanding and respect. Basically, yeah, at the end it seems genuine and they are both going to be more cordial with one another. First of all, Rio, I know that you're really trying here, and I can appreciate a trying bitch, but that City Trends fake ass bulletproof vest, I wanted to come through the screen and grab you by the neck and drag you through the streets of life like a ragdoll girl. Remember that Avengers movie, girl? Remember when the Hulk grabbed Loki and just started slamming him back and forth? That's kind of like what I wanted to do, because I don't like nobody, girl. If we just really tell the truth about the fight, it was one clean hit, and it was from the side where there was not enough attention, right? As it relates to Zesty in the fight with Donnie, let's just tell the very real truth. Although entertaining, although it lasted for 4.5 seconds, all you really did was get a few little hits in and you slammed the child. A few little hits in, and that was really it. It wasn't anything real or a real display of strength, power, or the supreme being like you are the one above all. So I'm going to need y'all to kind of like bring it down a little bit. I can appreciate a confident bitch, but you have the same way how us nerds judge the feats of these superhero characters and the villains and things of that nature. You have not displayed a feat worthy of the type of fear these girls or the energy in which you're walking around with the presence of Darkseid, girl. Like, so wearing that vest, it just made you look corny. It made you look like a clown to me, and I didn't like it. I also didn't like the fakery. If you're really gonna be like, I can respect you saying that you can't be friends with somebody. Hey, it's cool. But to sit there and to say that you can be cordial, you can be in the same room with them, you have to understand that this is a cast, so you kind of have no fucking choice. Hello, God. Which is why these moments of resolve are important. That way we can get through the rest of the season without there being any further incidents, right? Because in the scene that you're in with the rest of the girls that we're going to get to soon, you're talking about how you're not going to invite him. But you already acknowledge that you're part of the cast and that you can be cordial and be in the same room with him. So I don't know why you're trying to front and put on for the girls. I don't know. And then timeline-wise, which scene was shot first? That's a question. Donnie shares a little bit about, why he's triggered and why he reacts the way that he reacts. He lets us know that he's in therapy right now. And that he basically apologizes for a lot of the slurs and the words and the way in which he, kind of got loud and reckless with Rio. Look here. And I hate to sound picky, but watching Donnie in Rio and Donnie and Zesty, although I can appreciate an apology, I didn't appreciate the way in which he bowed down a little too much to me. It's one thing to apologize and take responsibility, and I'm here for all of that. But it gave suck up vibes. It gave like, let me just bow down, especially with his conversation with Zesty, and we'll get into that. But I don't know. I appreciate Donnie in this whole episode. I really, really do. The accountability for me, the shift in energy, Hello Gone, was good, but I can really appreciate the apology and taking ownership. But all of that bowing down shit, I ain't built for that, baby. They ain't deserve all that now. They deserve their apology, girl, and all the things, girl. Okay, but it's giving. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing. See, anyway. I didn't like at the end of Rio and Donnie's meet. You know, I felt like you could have shared a drink or a meal together. Did you just have to up and leave like that? I just, I get it. I get it, though. We're not friends. I'm not even here for all of that, but I don't know. I see a lot of comments. Javiana, hello, guy. I'll drop the link. I'm almost done with the review. Tedley, at this point, the wet wipes or whatever they're called, girl, that's not coming to fruition. We're still trying to push this HOA, realtor, selling property, renting homes, or whatever, girl. All of this would have landed better if the first season we were introduced to Tedley, he was honest, for one, and second, start us off at the beginning of this chase. Because there is something here. There's an educational, informative component to what Tedley does in the HOA world. If done and executed the right way, this is not just a Tedley issue, this is a production issue. Because for the life of me, I don't see why you guys still insist on showing him in these pathetic scenes where it's not believable. I'm not getting anything out of it as a viewer or as a reviewer. Well, as a reviewer, we get to continue to drag him through the streets of life and have a good laugh at his expense. But as a cast member, that does nothing for him. And as a viewer, it does nothing. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of film. It's a waste of a mic. It's a waste of a spot that could be given to someone who's actually ready to show us some real ass shit. If this was done through his introduction to the show the correct way, and he really tried to show us the ins and outs of what it is that he does, be informative to the girls. That's one of the things that I hated about when George was on. George had so many great things, especially in the financial aspect. He did wills and things of that nature, insurance. Like, there's so many different things that he did, especially part of the funeral world. Y'all take these men, and it seems boring, but there's a way to turn it around. And you have other entertaining, creative cast members where you can also accentuate and highlight what it is that they have going on. We need that person of serious need that has a serious job, that it's like, okay, I'd like to know a little, like even with Phaedra, girl. Phaedra has been persona non grata, in my opinion, ever since her and Portia tried to align themselves and get Candy with that lie. But I digress. Phaedra, when she was studying to be a mortuary scientist or whatever, girl, that was interesting. Boring to some, but very interesting. Y'all should have definitely leaned into more of that because that was interesting. Period. So we get down. Rio, he invited the girls out. Chloe, Lamont, Zesty, and Kelly. He announced that he's having a party coming up. I don't like the fact that you're not inviting Donnie. I don't like the fact that you're not inviting Glenn. I don't like the fact that Zesty also took a lot of excitement and pride oh, my bitch got my back. It's not fair. Let me say this. Get some water, girl. Hold on. This is a cast. When you have a show, right, and you have a cast, you are filming. A cast member has an event that you will be filming for this show. I don't give a fuck what the relationships are amongst the cast. All cast should be invited. No questions asked. If you don't like it, then girl, we will cancel filming at your event. Period. You don't have to like this bitch, but guess what? You're going to have to respect this bitch. Because we're filming and we're putting it on the platform. All the girls need to be in attendance unless they choose not to be there. Unless they have something, an emergency or something come up. I'm getting sick and tired of these girls, even for the Donnie. I know I went up for that, right? But in the first episode, Jeff saying, well, he's not invited. Hey, sorry, bitch. If I was Markel, sorry, girl. He's coming. You ain't got to like it, but guess what? You're going to love it because we're filming it. Period. Y'all didn't want to go to the skating ring? Y'all knew it was going to be filming. Girl, bring your ass. Bring your ass. Period. I'm getting sick of people picking and choosing who they want to invite, who they don't want to invite. Guess what, bitch? It doesn't matter. We're filming a show here. Okay? And again, Rio with the fake shit. That really pressed a button with me. I'm a real ass person at the end of the day, and I'm genuine as hell. And see, when I sit up here and I go up for some of y'all girls, I'm going to also have to call you out when I see a lot of bullshit and foolishness and fakery, fuckery, and fraudulence go on. I'm not here for it. But then y'all be the same girls that demand a certain level of respect. I'm not feeling that shit. Anyway, Rio must have the money. That's all I got to say. Rio must have the money. My thing is this. If you're going to tell Lamont, oh, I want you there cutting hair, don't you think this should have been a conversation prior to, and then we have to figure out what the fee is going to be? Don't just request me or tell me what I'm going to do, and I've yet to see an invoice or an invoice be paid. Or a conversation even happen about what the coin is going to be looking like and what the services are that you're requesting. And all this talk about a party, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about what they're going to do and what they want to do. Living in dreams, girl, hello gone, and some nightmares, hello gone. Living in delusions of grandeur, hello gone. And nothing comes to fruition. We're in episode 8. Anyway, and Chloe, girl, you can't sit here and say who you're going to invite to someone else's shit. But I stand by what I said. You wouldn't even have to do that if we stick with the program and the rule, the policy, the procedure set forth by Chasing Reality Human Resources, girl. Do I need to be Chasing Reality Human Resources, bitch? Because I could be human resource fish. I can be human resource fish, hello gone. Because it seems like y'all need order in the court, bitch. Period. It seems like y'all need some balance. Is that what's needed, required, and desired for Chasing Reality? Girl, please. Because you wouldn't have to sit here and try to sneak one in if everybody's invited. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. Anyway, and Lamont, I'm just, that commercial, I don't know why y'all aired that commercial with Netta and Charles. It just boils my blood. It just really boils my blood. I'm just going to say that. It's the same way it boils Netta's face, girl, in Charles's stomach, girl, little guy. There are so many other things y'all could have did to promote the fact that you cut hair. That was not one of them. And you are giving shit. What's up with the Dallas trade of the trade, the alleged trade, the alleged masculinity? Let's tell the truth, girl. What's tea with this alleged mask? All these niggas are short, so all the queens are tall, and all of the niggas is short. Tell the truth. You got Roberta Dutchmaster. She's about the size of a cigarette. Newport 100, girl. Hello, God. Lamont, you're over here built like one of the little women of Atlanta. Hello, God. And y'all be the man was talking about y'all stepping on shit. No, girl, someone's stepping on you. Girl, y'all is like 4'7", girl. Stop it, I say. No, ma'am. But I guarantee you that motherfucking I guarantee you that thing is, girl, that thing is strong, honey. Girl, I know about the short trade, honey. Hello, God. Let me tell you, don't ever discount short trade, honey. Short trade, especially short built trade, will fold you like a lawn chair, girl. Hello. I'm just saying, girl. Don't you ever disrespect short, buff trade, girl, because they've been working a lifetime for that body to make up for the fact what they lack in height, honey. And let me tell you something. They're real proud, and you know why they have a little bit of extra.com to them and their confidants, honey, is because they know they're coming through with that fist of faith, girl, to plunge into your hole, girl. Hello, you better Thor's hammer, girl. The almighty Thor. Hello, God, girl. The Avengers assemble. Ooh, girl. That's the only thing that keeps you and Roberta Dutchmaster interesting, Lamont, honey, is I know that y'all are running around here, girl, with the, where is it at, girl, the, ooh, girl, I know y'all running around here, girl, with the gavel of life, honey. Yes, order in the court, bitch. Ooh, yes, honey. I know y'all coming over here. Girl, I made macaroni and cheese earlier. I bet y'all stir up that macaroni and cheese, don't it? That sounds just like that. Girl, hello, God. Shout out to Lamont, honey. So I have a question, Lamont. Who was the top when you and Roberta Dutchmaster was together? Because we know we saw the pictures, Roberta Dutchmaster, of you doing drag, girl. Girl, you was over there looking like a tore down, honey. What's the fish name, girl, from Holiday Heart? Bitch, I got the bike ass, bitch. Hello, God. We saw you looking like a tore up Mary J. Blige, pre-crack, girl. Hello, God. No, post-crack and pre-crack, girl. Hello, God. Let's tell the truth. Who was doing the bending? Or was it a versatile type of relationship? Because I can see that too. Yes, girl. 4'7" ass niggas just tearing each other up, girl. Giving that more macaroni and cheese, girl. Yes. I know Roberta Dutchmaster got good puss. Hey, honey, oh my God. Lamont looked real clean too, though. But I don't know. Lamont, how did you wake up in the morning with Roberta Dutchmaster? Because she gives a halitosis tea. Her breath looked like it smelled like bacon and eggs, girl, early in the morning, girl. Sour as fuck. I just want to know. Don't Roberta Dutchmaster look like she got stank morning breath, girl? Just dry, just dick all in her mouth and breath, girl. Just fresh pubes just falling out of the middle of her teeth. I'm just saying, though, girl. Let's tell the truth. Mm-hmm. Girl, I just went on this whole tangent, child. They already say I don't like Roberta Dutchmaster, girl. I apologize. I love you, girl. You got good puss. Good sweet puss. That old man puss, child. And Lamont is 37. I'm 37 too. And it's crazy that Rachel was trying, not Rachel, but Chloe was trying to get him together. Lamont, if he didn't tell me that he was 37, I wouldn't have believed him. I thought he was like 25. God bless, honey. God bless, honey. Around here with that 25-year-old king. Okay. Yes, girl. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, since we're talking about that raggedy ass commercial with pimple face Netta and bloated Charles, the song, I hope y'all know that's Kesey. That's Kesey rapping that song. And I want the record to show across every single web reality platform, even amongst the ones that I call friends, I love you and no disrespect, Kesey, no matter how I feel or how any of you bitches feel about him, he is the best writer and lyricist on every single platform across all web reality shows. Not just Chasing, but all of them. If you've had a chance to get into his musical bag, which I have, when he was first introduced to us by way of Carrie D, Hello Gone, and Lyndon James of RM8, Hello Gone, he is very gifted and very talented lyrically. He rivals all of these. He is the supreme when it comes to the rapping world in web series. There should be no way this man is not selling out shows. I need to hear more. That song is everything, and he has plenty more songs that he has on YouTube and shit like that. He's a really good artist, a really good rapper, an amazing lyricist, and the energy that he gives on his songs is everything. I hope he's doing well too, Nick. I hope, and I pray. But that song is fire. I just wish it was over a commercial that was worthy to be praised. Okay? Period. Donnie and Zesty meet up in hopes to resolve their issues. Donnie apologized, and Zesty seemed genuinely receptive. Once again, I want to commend Donnie for being able to get to this space. Again, take responsibility and ownership for his actions and his words and his treatment towards individuals in this group. Zesty gave a lot more than what Rio gave, right? And I think because things kind of started with Zesty, it kind of needed that a little bit more than what we got from Rio. But obviously Rio wasn't genuine. I feel as if Zesty was very genuine in his response to Donnie. And just he listened to what Donnie had to say about his experiences and his struggles and him being, being challenged with adversity and his experiences being mixed and dealing with certain elements in his life and his growing up and how that kind of perpetuated, negative behaviors towards others, trauma, things of that nature, how he responds to certain people, blah, blah, blah. I really, really, really appreciate this entire scene. It was well needed, required, and desired. But moving forward, I don't want no shade from either party. This does not need to be brought up again. Zesty. This does not need to be. I'm not worried about Donnie bringing it up. I'm worried about Zesty bringing it up. Because for the life of me, Zesty still sits on the hill of Glenn with the whole hookah situation. Girl, let it go. Be like Elsa, girl, and try to be like Dre Simber, girl, letting the coke go. Let it go, girl. Let it go. The same way Jet Jeff needs to let go of that loyalty conversation as it relates to Ted Lee. Let it go. Now that we've established, Hello Gone, that we're here, we're trying to move past our shit, we're in the moment of resolve. The next episodes up into the finale, the next time we hear about this should only be on the reunion. Period. Okay? And that was the end of the episode. I'm going to drop the link. Oh, God. Whew. Oh, wow. 60 people in the building. What's the tea, girl? Hit that like button. I just dropped the link. Please feel free to click the link. Hello, Gone. Come up here, share your thoughts on the season thus far, or this episode, or just to say hi, hello. I got to get out of here by 10 o'clock. It's 9:30 now. But I want to say this about the season so far. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to be shady. I'm not trying to be ugly about this at all. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The way in which we're dropping the ball on certain cast members. What's up, Jace? How you doing, boo? Chloe. Even Rachel. Donnie. Is there anyone else? Even Zesty and Rio too, though. I feel as if we're not diving into these cast members. I feel as if we're not. You know how you write a paper, an essay, and you write out first your details on how you're going to structure this thing, right? And then you do your little 1-2s, right? I feel that I'm not getting that. I feel like we just threw these fuckers in there without no history, no knowledge, no proof of concept, especially like Jayla. Like a lot of these people, like, you act as if we're supposed to already know these motherfuckers. I'm not invested the way I need to be, the way I want to be, because there's no structure to their depth. I feel like they have so much to offer, but because they're not being produced the right way, the season's falling short for me. Chloe has a story to tell. Harviana tells y'all that time and time again. I'm telling you that. There's a story to tell, and we're not tapping into that. You couldn't even show the girl printing her fucking shirts. You were more invested in a FaceTime conversation that she was having with Kelly versus showing her producing how she actually makes her shirts. You would rather film Tedley running behind people's backyards, looking like a stranger, a skinwalker, bitch. Girl, be lucky Men in Black didn't show up and tranquilize his ass and take him to Area 51 to dissect him to figure out if he's really a motherfucking human. Because you would rather film him walking behind people's yards. Lamont, fake cutting Tedley's creature shell, girl. You would rather film him doing that, having a minute conversation with both of y'all don't even look professional. You're dressed like you're about to go hunting, bitch. Where y'all going? Y'all gonna hunt trade? Because we know Tedley is good for that. I just want to know, like, you filmed the girls. You filmed the girls in a group scene talking about hopes and dreams in what, episode 7? None of which have produced a goddamn thing on our screen. I feel like it's wasted. Where's the storytelling? Where's the pooling the depth out of these people and telling their story? There's so many ways in which this could have been done so much better. It's disappointing me and my homegirls. It's really disappointing. I'm going to go as far as to say that I don't know what it takes to put a show together. I'm going to be honest about that first. But I don't want this to come off nasty, but it comes off lazy when we're only... I don't know. Because I want my criticism to be viewed as constructive and not mean or nasty. But there really is no real nice way to put that the season's falling short, pretty much based off of the fact that we're not able to capture... Okay, for instance, right? And I've gave a lot of instances, but this is a big one for me. This season will forever be recognized as the racial divide season. I've said this time and time again. Harviana has said this. People down to the chasing panel has said this. I'm going to reiterate this. None of these people, and I'm going to be honest with you, including producer, director, executive, owner, camera person, girl, it don't matter who you are. If you're part of this brand, none of you all know how to have an intellectual, emotionally, hello God, aware enough conversation as it relates to race relations. And that's okay. That's okay. But if you know that to be the truth, and you do not want that to be the tag that has basically swallowed your season, you got to start over. You got to try to break away. Okay, maybe the first half, let's see what we can do about moving that. And how you do it is by telling a lot of, forgive me, but don't forgive me, because I really don't give a damn, because I can go there. Hello, God. You gotta let your black cast know, if you are gonna go there and speak on these things that require a certain level of intellect, you need historical facts, you really need to have a clear understanding of the political, social, political atmosphere, hello God, and a certain level of awareness. There's certain shit you just shouldn't be saying. Okay? Oh, hello, God. Harviana is here, child. Hello, God. Let me add you, baby.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What's up?
Shout out to you for doing this Sunday Night Live, child.
Hello, God. I saw you announce that y'all weren't doing the Kiki panel. I saw a lot of other people were like, they're not doing shit. So I was like, let me come through real quick.
Okay.
And feel the space. What's going on?
So, out of all the commentary, because I listened to this while I was in the shower, I am having a trouble, and maybe you could further explain to me why you feel like Rio saying Mexicans are N-words too is okay, but then with Donnie, you felt like his behavior was crazy. And what Donnie was speaking about the deportation, that's a factual thing. Mexicans are being niggas. That's not just because they may have similar experiences. That's not the same. To me, if you have somebody who's like you grew up in a project with somebody who's white, single family household, struggling, all the things, does that then, because we had similar experiences, does that warrant them to be able to say, "Oh, I'm a nigga too"?
I'm not going to say that it warrants him saying these things, but from what I gather from that situation, it was a repost, right? He didn't actually make the post himself, right?
But one thing that's notable about what he did, he was not in the trailer because he made the post before the show came out.
Mm-hmm.
Then once he threw a temper tantrum in the group chat and he got added into the intro and he felt like he was made cancer, but he then reposted something else referencing Mexicans and saying the N word and everything else. So if there's this outrage that y'all think should be bestowed upon Donnie because he said your people get ready to get up out of here, then where is the outrage for somebody who, from what I've heard, does not share a similar background to most black people that I know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I think it's all about context in which people are saying it. So you have Donnie, for instance, his words were to create division by way of hostility. You have Rio, who's trying to display a certain level of unity by highlighting what makes us more similar than not. Does that make sense? You have someone
well,
saying,
yeah, you can relate to someone. You can relate to someone, but that doesn't mean that you use racial slurs as a term of relating to them and their experience. Because
well,
it's disrespectful. And if you Google the word, it is derivative for black people. It is a black racial slur that he is trying to use for unity. That doesn't make sense. And like we both have said, if you don't have the intellectual wherewithal to have these type of conversations, you shouldn't speak or say certain things or even introduce certain ideas if you're not able to back them. He went back from backpedaling, apologizing, to now that he's in the trailer saying it again. To me, that is playing in Markel's face. To me, that is being Markel allowing it is being a coon. That's how I feel. And I think that
I'm
nothing
not saying
happened.
you shouldn't feel the way you should feel, but from the context in which I understand him for posting what he posted, saying that Mexicans are niggas too, when I heard that, I'm from Florida. It's a melting pot here. This is Latino, Jamaican, Caribbean, Black, White, Central. Like this, everybody around here. So how I took it when I heard about what he said was more so like, hey, the world treats us very similar to how they treat Black people. Like that's how us niggas feel.
Well, let
That
me
that's
get let
we
me
get
get
casted out. We get treated similarly to how they're being treated. So I kind of understood the tone in which, in the context, he was referring to that as. It'd be different if he was saying something that was demeaning Black people and not trying to relay the things that make us similar in our experiences here in America.
if he has such similar experiences with black people, why has he not gravitated towards the other black cast members?
I feel like he has in a way.
Who?
Kelly, for one, it seems like
Well,
they have a pretty good relationship.
well, that's
He also has Black people that work for the Reckless Dolls, as we saw at that little dinner scene that he had a couple of episodes ago. Um, it seems like he's definitely willing to be a part of that. But mind you, again, from what I'm seeing in the show, there's a lot of microaggressions towards the three of these girls versus any microaggressions towards the bulk of the Black cast. So I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, would I be so willing? Because you see a lot of these people sitting over here defending Donnie and a lot of his commentary towards, his people. So would you be so willing to say, hey, well, I want to create relationships and friendships and try to get to know most of these people, me knowing how most of y'all feel? No. I'm not gonna be in that same space either.
the thing is, like I said, what Dunny said, it actually is a fact. What he said is not. That's interpretive. That's something that he's interpreting. And though you may share or feel as though you share a similar experience, that does not make it the same. And it does not warrant you, being a non-black person, being able to use a black slur or black racial slur. It just doesn't warrant that. And then the fact that you are representative of a black production with a black producer of a black web reality network, and you're saying this type of stuff, I think it does more harm than good. I think that you are one of few people who understand the unity behind anything that he said, because his personality has not even showed that. His personality has not showcased that you were understanding of the black culture or the black experience. It has not shown that to me. Him and Zesty both, and I think that that's why the comments are in the fashion of what they are, is because they kind of see that it's a divide, calling people dirty, and it's kind of like that OG Evelyn situation.
Well, the thing about it is, though, when you look at those particular reads, like I said earlier in another review that I did, that's the same way we talk. That's our go-to reads across the board, though. You dirty bitch, you're this, you're that. Oh, girl, we're always out here nitpicking on people who get government assistance and get food stamps and live in the projects, or, you wearing the same clothes every day, or those things are not just limited to our experiences as Black folks or whatever our socioeconomic status is. It's across the board. We've heard Zesty talk about his past. We've heard Rio talk about his past as well in the struggle and living and picking through the fields and doing all of this. And his family was on crack and his family was on drugs and these things and that. So all he's doing is picking up his own experience, relating it to a lot of things that we also go through. I never once feel the energy that it's racially motivated, though. It's just reads, and the same type of reads we all use against each other. Whether you're black, white, I remember calling white people dirty foots. I call a lot of people dirty foots. When I'm reading someone down for filth, it don't matter what it is. It's not racially motivated, and that's not the energy that I feel like these boys are serving. They're just serving reads and gather.
But when Seven said hip hop is black, he was canceled damn near for that.
Well, because that's not a fact. He was ignorant.
It's not a fact. But my thing is, that's not really a racist thing to say. Culturally, it's true. Hip hop is predominantly black. That is true. But it's not a fact that hip hop is black. That was the untrue part about it. But he was canceled and a statement came right after that. But with Rio, he's being rewarded for bad behavior, in my opinion. And if this was said to anybody in the workspace or in any type of social setting, it will come across as offensive. Could he go up there and give a speech, be like, I'm Mexican, I'm a nigga too? Would they go over well for the general public? Absolutely not. And you can't, I don't think it's right for us to correlate the poverty level that he was stricken with in his past as being equivalent to black people. Because that's not what I equate my black to be.
Well, no, I don't think it has anything to do with that particular struggle, him trying to correlate that. I think what he's talking about is like when you look at the political atmosphere right now, and while the show was being filmed, I think what he's trying to relate is the treatment. Like white people, we know white supremacy, we know how that works. If it's not white, it's not right. I think all he was doing was saying, hey, we're also looked at as niggas too, in a way. Not actual niggas, but what the nigga struggle actually is and how we're viewed by our white counterparts or the racists of the world like Donald Trump and his cabinet. That's really where I think that came from. I don't think it was meant to say or be derogatory towards us personally. It was just in him sharing the fact that, hey, at the end of the day, look what they're doing to us. Look at how they've always treated us and how they look down on us. I can relate to y'all, black folks, the same way, because that's it. The same way they call us niggas is how they look at them too. It may not be the same, but there are similar examples of the treatment. So that's where I took it. That's how I took it as.
Well, that's respectable, but I definitely continue to disagree. I'm going to continue to drag him every opportunity.
And hey, you got to do what you got to do. We all perceive things differently. I think that's what makes this world so good. But at the end of the day, too, like when Mother was with Jet Jeff at the skating ring.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that conversation she had with Jet?
Loosely, because this season kind of been boring, I'll be honest with you. But go ahead. Yeah, I remember.
So when she was talking to Jet, in every moment in that moment, there were a lot of racially motivated comments that she made. They were ambiguous, but I'm a smart bitch and I put it all together. All of that stuff was racially demeaning towards Jet Jeff. Why isn't anybody else coming at Mother for how egregiously she attacked Jet Jeff and that? It was subtle to the point where Jet really, wasn't going to interpret it that way, to be honest with you, to really push the button on that. But for someone that watched that scene and watched the words that she said and played with, basically to highlight, girl, you over there across the fence, you chose the girls across the fence, i.e. the Trump wall. And throughout this whole season, there's very much from Mother from Donnie, from a lot of people, where it just really seems as if it's more to heat on the Latino girls versus the energy that they claim that they see the Latino girls giving the black girls. It's just not fair to me.
I think that's really because of the personalities that they have depicted. Zesty, as well as Rio. It's bully, it's mean girl, it's nasty, it's gang up, it's I got your back. You even heard Zesty say that he was like going to fight for Jeff, and you don't even know him. Like you ready to fight for this man just off of the strength of what? Then I will ask you that. Off the strength of what? Why were you seen Donnie, you seen Jet, and you just chose Jet's side and was willing to fight?
Well, I think that could be interpreted too as like, at the time, now we're realizing that they don't really know each other like that. But in the moment, there was this believability and this understanding that they had a prior relationship. So of course you're going to side with your homegirl. Again, in my opinion, no matter who it is, you don't know the other person, but you loosely know this person. So of course you're gonna go ahead and, based on what you're hearing and seeing, you're gonna have your homegirl's back versus the person who you don't really know like that at all. So I don't know. I think what it is too is I think we forget that across the board, whether it's G Status or all the other franchises, I feel as if we've seen more egregious behaviors, and we're not trying to call those out. Chasing
But my
LA
thing,
the first season, Chasing Atlanta, all of their seasons pretty much. Chase all the other episodes of Chasing Dallas. We've seen a lot of more egregious behaviors and treatments towards people that I feel like people never truly called out as much as we're seeing in this racially motivated season.
and I think that it's really because these are new people, and this is our introduction to you, and you are saying things that are problematic. You are saying things that could misrepresent the brand. You are saying things that are not true, and that's our introduction to you. So that's why I think that there's this movement in the comments that are saying, get them all off the show. Because this, from my understanding, it was an all black show, with the exception of Jet Jeff. He was the first introduction of, something outside of black, right? So it was an all black show. So when we integrate these shows in the way that Markel did this particular year, now it's a race conversation, and it's pinning out to be the least successful season of Chase and Dallas in history. And we're talking about now, just to move off the race thing, I also wanted to ask you, how do you feel about this season, where episode 8 and we got no context? All we've been talking about is black, white, and Mexicans.
I really do feel like once that argument with Ted Lee and Mother and Zesty Glenn, I feel like if we would have found a way to nip that in the bud in that moment, because really it's all of this is most of what we're seeing with as it relates to the race conversation has been dragged out from one or two moments, right? At least it's how I take it. You've allowed that to convolute the entirety of your season. No matter what happens next in the season finale or the reunion, you have allowed this thing to linger and become the bulk of your season. I'm not here for that, because there are a lot of missed opportunities, like I pointed out earlier, that we could have been focusing on, and the mark has been missed tremendously. And it goes to show there's a big lack of willingness to tap into what some would consider boring, which is going in depth in a person's life and their story. But I think it takes a very talented individual to be able to go through all of that and make it show worthy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that, like you said, I think that they're probably gonna do about 10, maybe 11 episodes. But do you think that there's a chance for redemption for this season?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna continue to watch and review until it's done. At this point, we're in episode 8. There's no redeeming most of these people, moments, storylines, because most of what started in the beginning, we already know we're not going to see Rachel's lip gloss line. Child, Jayla's been pulled from the goddamn beginning portion of it pretty much at this point. You've produced nothing at all. Mother has yet to produce anything other than failure and drag. There's been nothing. The work, we just need to see that beginning work, that chase. The whole basis for chasing reality is to chase something. All of these girls, in my opinion, have sold lies to get on the show. Production did not do their due diligence, in my opinion, to fact check these girls and to do their research on these girls to make sure that they were actually going to be doing something. Once we saw that there was nothing, they should have been scrapping this from the beginning and starting over. We've seen nothing. Episode 8, again, we might have 10, 12 maybe episodes. It's not enough to redeem. Even if we had hour-and-a-half episodes moving forward, there's just not enough, in my opinion, to redeem it. Now, I'll be surprised and shocked, and I'll give props if there is something that could, but we've lost a lot of time here, to be honest, and we wasted. I'm sorry if Lamont, you have nothing. Y'all have, again, I talked about that Chloe situation. Instead of her, you got shirts and stuff, girl, you doing your thing, honey, okay? You would rather film her talking on a FaceTime conversation with Kelly than actually show her process of these shirts. You've allowed Tedley to walk around here like a skinwalker bitch and not do anything other than play in our face. Like, once you get the film back, and I know Dario's the editor and the owner, I would have seen that shit come across my screen as I go to work on it. I'm like, girl, what is this? What is this? So at the point of editing and going back, and then I think you pointed this out in what your live you did, the vision. You write your vision, your storyboard or whatever. If things are not aligning with that,
change the direction. But my thing is, like, Markel is the cameraman. So if you even see these conversations taking a path of black, white, race, deportation, like, why not divert the attention? If you can text people and say, hype it up for the camera, why can't you say, we're not talking about this, moving on? You have allowed this season to be what it is. So my question to you would then be, what could be done for next year, since we know there is no resolution really for this one? What would you do differently next year? Would you continue with including people, non-black talent, or would you go back to the basis of the formula that was before, the successes from before?
I wouldn't mind if we still integrated people from different walks of life. I'm here for that. That's how we push the envelope for the social experiment we call life's journey, right? But there has to be a better way to execute it. Like, if we would have not had any conversation about the racial bias of it all, the racial tension of it all, and actually have these girls really working together. Like, okay, for instance, Jayla's this mega content creator. They say she does well with marketing. There are a few girls on here who could utilize that service. So they could have got Jayla to work with Zesty, to work with Rio to get their product paid to do the thing. She could have worked with Rachel. She could have worked with Glenn in his fashion situation. She could have worked with Mother, as we saw, but that's not coming to fruition at all this season. Hello, God. A lot of these moments are wasted. These people's talents are wasted. There are a lot of moments and events. Reckless Dolls, hey, we need shirts, Chloe. We need uniforms, Chloe, with our logos and shit on it, Chloe. Why are we not making sure that these people are linking up and being able to work together? That way we have worthy film situations as well as cast collaboration. Rios can allegedly cook. He needs to be cooking for all the events. The same thing I said about Chef Messi last season. There are multiple opportunities. Everybody's having an event. You got to have food at it, right? So why are we not utilizing these people? Homeboy, Zesty, you got a mobile bar business. Every event, we need to be booking him in his mobile bar business. Period. Homeboy can cut some hair. All these hoes need a haircut, in my opinion. I don't know if Mother and her units can withstand the blades of time. But, child, at the end of the day, everybody needs a haircut.
But do you even when he's like, oh, at this event, we're going to be cutting hair, like, that shit just sound all over the place. Did that not sound crazy to you? I have an event and we getting a haircut. I have an event and I got lip gloss. Like,
when he mentioned the haircut thing, I immediately thought of a Keith Lee fundraiser. Girl, please.
What the hell is that? I mean, I don't even know what we talk about storylines, but what does Reckless Dolls even do?
See, y'all cut the scenes short to go to rush the girls outside to take their drunk ass out there and fight, because they did a scene with Reckless Dolls. We're doing an event at that club opening. That was a perfect opportunity to highlight what it is that they do, instead of the rest of us believing that he's a pimp ushering the girls and selling their puss off to the next buyer. Because that's what a lot of people thought it really was. So again, I go back to what I said earlier. Where's the introduction? It seems as if we just threw these people in here and there was an expectation for us to already know who they are without giving us that introduction to them, a backstory. And it doesn't, and again, I know we have a meet the cast, but even I saw them meet the cast. They were not meeting the cast. That was foolishness too. We need a better introduction in how we're going to be introduced to these people, what they're going to be bringing to the table, what their actual profession is, and not just talking about it. I need to see it. Do you agree with what I said earlier? Were you here when I talked about Lamont and his so-called annual Valentine's Day shoot?
Right. You were saying that we should be able to see it, like at least see the finished product or the ones previous. Yeah.
Right. So it's stuff. I'm sorry. I'm not going to your Instagram to look at that. I'm not doing all that. I need to see this visible on the show because it's called chasing. We're not getting any of that on here.
That's very true. I think that it was a mishap. I do think that they should go back to the original formula that worked, in my opinion. And I'm all about inclusion and bringing people together. But some stuff happened over time, even in television. Back in the days before black people could be seen on TV, you know what I mean. You got to slowly introduce people into that. And I think that the reason that there's this hype, not to make it right nor wrong, but because you are introducing three Latinos on a platform that we've known to be all black, and then we've seen a small integration with Jet Jeff, it's kind of like that housewife. Yeah, Kim Zolciak got on there, but after Kim Zolciak left, did we ever look for another white housewife at Atlanta? We didn't.
No, we don't.
So I think that those type of things, it doesn't, you got to understand. And the thing that's so special about web reality to me is that they tell our stories on the black experiences. A lot of our stories are not told. A lot of our stories are whitewashed, and a lot of our stories aren't told by us.
Well,
So
to
when
tell the truth, sorry to cut you off, but to tell the truth, across the board, our stories really aren't being told either. A lot of what we've been seeing in the web reality world across the board is just foolishness, fights, mess, egregious behavior. Shit, that season of Chasing Atlanta, they were out here snatching pussy in the sleep. Girl, please. Like, so there's a lot of that's why I don't mind the integration. And if you feel like this is going to bear some type of fruit, now it's not happening the way it needs to happen, but I don't mind people making that attempt to be a little bit different and bring some a different type of feeling and look to the platform. Because at the end of the day, across all the franchises, look at what we got with Chasing Orlando. Like, it was a good season, but we got a lot of the bullshit, a lot of the fights. So it's just like, at the end of the day, I don't mind if you throw some Spanish blood in there, child. You threw some white blood in there, as long as it can make sense and it translates better to us. It's just in this particular situation, it was not done right.
I was just gonna say, because even if you got B Baby Lindo, nobody was having a race war conversation when he was a part of the cast because that's not the energy in which he gave. There
Right.
has to be something that these people of Dallas are giving that is making the viewership cringe, not watch, not be engaged, not be invested, and really just honestly, just being honest, not support the show. Yeah, it has to
If
be
they
something with their energy.
if they would have stuck to the chasing formula, which in my opinion is the chasing aspect, and really, like I outlined, how they could have utilized a lot of these girls to collaborate with most, if not all, of the cast, focus on the business, the camaraderie of that, not bringing up any serious issues, i.e., race relations or anything weird. Again, we've already established that none of these girls, most of these hoes don't even have a GED, high school diploma. A lot of these girls didn't even get their hooked on phonics diploma. They're not going to understand the depth and breadth that it takes to have these meaningful conversations. Let's excommunicate that from the experience. We learned that with G Status. That didn't work. That actually tanked that season. It left a mark. To this day, we still talk about that foolishness. Instead of highlighting all the things that show was or could have been, that's what will forever be their curse to bear. And the same thing with this season is all we've all been able to talk about really is that. And again, I think a lot of the disdain, and I stand on this, and I said this earlier, as I go through the comment sections, there's a lack of people willing to understand and actually, how can I put this? There's a lot of, and I hate this, and I know that Chasing Reality is known to be black. It's our experience. That's great. But I think we're so rooted in that to the point where we don't try to see anybody else but ourselves. when I look at the comments, there's a lot of hateration. There's a lot of like prejudice and discrimination in there, just off the heels that these girls are Spanish, not based off their actions or their words, but just based off the fact that they're Spanish, which lets me know that a lot of the vast majority of the people that are watching this show, they lack any experience out of their own city limits. Let's tell the truth. You got a lot of these country bumpkins, a lot of these girls, they never been nowhere. They ain't got no passport. They ain't never been on a damn cruise 10 minutes outside of the water, girl. These girls ain't been on a raft boat in the middle of a river, bitch, let alone anywhere else. It shows, and it makes me cringe to see the lack of the ability these people don't have to just step outside of themselves and try to appreciate something else other than seeing us all the time. And most of the hate, I think, is just generated because you got to look at the bulk of the black girls on this season. They're actually talking about more chasing than actually doing chasing. Meanwhile, we're seeing these other three girls really doing what the fuck they got to do.
So when we say they doing what they got to do, we don't know what the reckless dolls actually do. It sounds like a chitlin circuit, honestly, because we don't know what it is that they do. Then we talk about somebody bringing out lip gloss. Okay, if that's the chase, okay. And Jet Jeff putting out more music. Okay, is that their chase, and is that just so substantial? Like,
I'm not going to say that it's so substantial, but I'm saying visually speaking, we're getting something visually from them versus people that are sitting around in these groups outside in the cold talking about the dreams and hopes that they should have been putting on pen and paper and giving us in the beginning of their introduction on this platform. So Reckless Dolls may not be something that we understand fully yet. And of course, I'll judge and read him for that. I definitely do. That's a production issue too, because again, it's just like writing an essay. You got to put out your bullet points first and then expound upon them individually in the rest of your paragraphs throughout your essay. Correct? They haven't done that. So yes, I have my negative marks for that, but at least that there's a visual representation of the chase. We saw Zesty may not have been doing anything with his lip gloss, but we saw the lip gloss. Rachel's talking about lip gloss. Hello, God. Mother is talking about skirts. She ain't produced no skirts. Instead, she gave us some Lion King ass performance, girl, giving deception and disgrace, honey, in freakum dress. When we talk about Jet Jeff, we got all these other girls talking about what they doing, but at least he's performing. He's doing music. He's giving us these scenes. He's putting together events for people to join the scenes. All of the girls that I mentioned before, their shit is a hope and a prayer. It's not even on pen and paper. These are just things verbally spoken out of those godforsaken tongues of theirs that they've yet to bring to fruition. Yeah. Am I wrong?
No, I get exactly what you're saying, but I think that is, again, like we both were saying, it's a production call. Because you know what you have, and you know what they said that they were going to bring. You should have executed that, which is why I said when Markel was doing lives, he was saying that I did all this on a vision board, and storyboard, and all the things. We're not seeing that. So if he ever come up ever again, I would ask him, what was your vision? Like, what was the story? Because I think we all have missed it.
There's no cohesion in this season whatsoever. It just seems like a bunch of random shit thrown up. And that's what pisses me off the most, because if you look at past seasons, there was something that brought everyone together middle to end of the season. And then at the reunion, we would be able to wrap it all up. I don't know how the reunion's going to go based on what I've seen, because there's a bunch of random shit. And I'm going to be honest here, and I'll stand on this, and I'm a very unbiased ass bitch. If it was not for Donnie, I do feel as if this season would have been in the trash a long time ago.
I agree. I can agree with that.
Because not only did you get Chase, you got him being the personality, you got him being the villain and the, hero at the same time in a sense. You got to see a certain depth to him. You got his family, you got his ratchet side, you got his humble side, you got his boyfriend, his romantic side, his interaction with these girls. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it wasn't for Donnie, y'all would not have a season.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. He gave a lot of these girls storylines. He
Yep.
gave us a lot of chatter to talk about outside of race relations.
Yep.
You know, Dunny is that girl for this season. And so moving forward, I just think that there needs to be some type of come to Jesus meeting had amongst producers, and they need to really formulate what is going to work for Dallas, or is Dallas no longer able to work? Because the stuff that Tentley was talking about in that scene, child, that could have been in an email. That was point.
Girl, tell me about it.
Like that could have been an email. But it's just like again the fluff. And we on the third season and we just now finding out what third year, I'm sorry. Third year of Tentley, and we just now finding out what he actually does. Like that's kind of like the wasted time. All
Girl,
because you want to
we
cast
got,
your friends and flunkies.
girl, we got 4 days of streaming university on TikTok, girl. I got more out of that in 4 days than I did out of this last month and a half of watching Chasing Dallas, to be honest. I'm disappointed because, Dallas was my flagship show. That's where I got a lot of my notoriety and the respect that I have in this realm. And I love Dallas. I love Markel. I love Reese. I love all of the girls that I have loved in my interviews and things of that nature. The real problem here is being able to expound on cast members. A couple of seasons ago, that y'all weren't scared to talk about their family. When we look at that season with Astro with his mother and his brother, that was interesting to me. Jeff talking about his mother, his father, and his situation. Now, I know we can't have that all the time, but when we had, and even when they had a moment in Chasing Orlando, they had the Pulse nightclub moment. Like, Chasing has had moments that we don't see too often anymore, where we drop the mess real quick and we get real. And I think that's what the real and reality for Chasing Reality is supposed to represent. And we haven't got that. I'll even go out on a limb and say this. I may talk about her broccoli being done as fuck, which is Lauren England. But at least with that Chasing Lauren shit or whatever that show was called.
Just
like,
Lauren or something like that.
Yeah. We got, Homegirl was doing DoorDash post-op in the rain, bitch. Like, we got to follow her to Brazil or whatever island that was where she got that illegal surgery, child. Hello, God. Like, we got to see the vulnerability. We got to see the cuts, the wounds, the before, like, y'all were not afraid to really go. And even with the Barbie Bankrose documentary style that they did, that Markel produced, you gave us a person. Not just the glitz and glam and the shade and the reads of it all and the drama. You gave us a person. And I think that's what we've been missing. In this season, there's been so many scared, you can tell, like, are y'all scared to really go there again? Like with Donnie, like, maybe we wouldn't have been calling him crackheads if we would have, let us know you got anxiety and you're socially awkward. Like, go into that. Like, now we see the trauma. Now we know why you out here talking about your African forehead and your African nose. You were bullied as a kid. I understand now. Give us the depth and breadth of these people in the beginning of these situations, especially newcomers. That way we won't be sitting around here reading for filth or looking at these people weird and giving us something different. Because we know when it's the gays, period, girl, you're going to get your shade. You're going to get your entertainment. But when are we ever going to get real and say, like, let's really tap into this person's life? Like Chloe, for instance, that girl done worked the stroll. That girl done did the thing of the thing, hun. She's out here trying to get her life together. Like, there's so many ways y'all could expound on
I agree.
Her as a character, not character, but her as a cast member. Like, there's just so many, like I said, with Donnie and his situation, like, there's just so many ways that we could be tapping into these people as people. And that's what I think will make people emotionally invested. Because let's tell the truth, when we watch Atlanta Housewives, we pick our characters, the cast that we like, based off of, oh, girl, I think like her. Or I act like her. Or I can see me fucking with her. Because
you can relate, yeah.
You can relate to her. Like, that's why people fell in love with a lot of these hoes. And that's why we love a lot of the cast that we've seen throughout the web series world too. But now I think it's become just so convoluted with fakeness and people trying to be more than what they really are, i.e., delusions of grandeur, honey, hello, God. It's gotten washed up to the point where I don't even really care no more.
I 100% agree. I definitely think that we haven't really been able to connect. And I think that another issue that this season had is, with the cast not doing interviews or doing what their part in that regard, because some interviews and some interviewers can humanize some of these people. And I think that that's really an impertinent part of these shows. Like, cause some stuff you could do that just doesn't make any sense, and we hate you. But you can go do a YB interview or a Prelude interview or a Kiki Panel interview, and people like, you know what? I like Johnny. I'm starting to understand. That also is an element that you can use as an outsource to develop character. Cause no characters honestly have been developed this year.
None at all. There's no storylines. I see like situations, circumstance, and moments. But as far as like storylines, there has like y'all should have been nitpicking the hell out of Lamont when he told y'all if a nigga is not afraid to tell you that his munchkin chipmunk built ass and his girlfriend like to have thirds and fourths and fifths in their bedroom, y'all needed to take that as a moment to expound on it. Because if he wasn't afraid to tell their y'all business like that, and he don't even know us like that, and we don't even know him like that, girl, you should have took it as an opportunity to get into the things of those things. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like Rachel, you were gone for a month. You shouldn't be back here.
And
Because
no shade, Kelly went to go film another show, and you back. I don't understand the method of. That's what I'm saying. I would like to know the plan. Like when these people got picked up or casted, did they say we're gonna be filming from month da 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 to da da da? And are you gonna be available? And you commit to being available to film the show, and then you just go and film a whole nother show, or I just am gonna leave for a month and I still want to be main cast member and put back in the truck. It doesn't make sense. That's why
oh
that's why I'm like, like he'll explain your.
hell, not even that, girl. Like it wouldn't even took that for me to get rid of Kelly. I would have got rid of her the moment she is not filming her chase. You're going out of town to do all of these people's hair, but we have not seen the proof of that.
Yeah, all we seen was you playing in Chloe's leave out, child. That's all we just seen thus far.
That's all we've seen. And you drink liquor off your husband's dirty ass. What is that? Belly button,
Belly
bitch.
button, yeah.
Girl, please. Like I don't want to. I don't. We spend a lot of time on the foolishness of it all, but we're not trying to get into the meat and the potatoes of what the original concept is for this show and its platform.
Yeah. And a lot of time was wasted about race. I would just say that. And that could have also been derailed with proper production. You could have
And you
cut
know
some
what
of the stuff.
kills me? Like y'all call people like not you, but like overall, like they said Carrie D was boring. At least every time Carrie D said, and I quote, "Girl, I wasn't trying to do things unless I was chasing something." The same thing with Ariel. That's why Ariel doesn't really do much in this world either. Because she told me, she's like, "Child, I really, if it ain't about work or chasing nothing, I really don't want to be a part of anything." Because y'all be instead of chasing dreams, y'all be chasing foolishness and it's craziness. So a lot of the people that they said, "Oh, this person's born," the Trey Howards or like anybody else, they were chasing shit. They had stuff and they had personality. It's just your faults as producers and creators that you're not trying to lock in on these people and pull something from them and actually create with it. That again lets me know, and this is no shade, this is not directly at Markel or anybody else. This is for every creative person out there. Like Carlos King, people can say what they want to say, but at least he found moments to where he can pull things out of people that would make TV fucking gold. People don't like Andy, but child, Andy says those messy ass questions down to the reunions, girl, that pull the greatest reunion moments of our history, girl.
Yeah.
If Mona Scott Young may be an evil cunt, but the way in which she produced the hell out of Jocelyn Hernandez, girl, and gave us one of the best gave us one of the best media personalities, girl, come on now. There's a way to do it. You just gotta have the gift. And some of these girls, I feel like, if even if they do have the gift, they don't know how to use it.
Yeah. I 100% agree. But I know you got to get up out of here, and I got to get up out of here too. I
Yeah.
appreciate you for dropping that link, and I appreciate your reviews. Um, honestly, and chasing Dallas, like I mean, go ahead, finish off. I'm actually just waiting for Atlanta at this point, honey. Let's get back to what things we know it's gonna be good, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I'm ready. I got to catch up on that last season of Atlanta. I didn't really get into that season that much. That was the year I kind of boycotted that shit, all of it.
Don't say boycott, child. Well, I got in trouble for that, honey.
No, they were. Honey, I was going through a lot of mess that last year, honey. I was like, there was so much going on. I was like, girl, I'm over these bitches. So, I'm kind of just now getting back into the feel of things. I think I did this. I did last season of Dallas. Um, I got a lot of hate for that one, girl, because they did not like how I switched up on Roberta Dutchmaster, honey.
And the thing
But
is, knowing Markel's casting style, Robert will be back. And I mean, it's
girl,
it is what it is, though. Those are
if
his
you know
choices.
what, I'll be here for again. If everything is done the right way, if the girls are chasing, if the girls are going to add value, even if I've read you for filth prior or currently, um, I will give you a good review if it's done the right way.
I think that he shouldn't be allowed back unless he has a storefront salon like we've been seeing followed for the past 4 years, 3, 4 years.
Honey, from what
And
I've
if that,
heard, Daddy been moving from house to house to house. His stability is not stable. Um, we saw he had that beautiful apartment in that one season. The next you was living back at home. Then the next we saw you riding around in some car, bitch. And then, girl, I think he was staying with somebody else at one point, girl. And this is all during that season. And it's just like, and then you had a salon that you don't have a salon. You shopping for chairs for a salon that don't really exist. Like, girl, then we saw you had some call center badge on when you met Jeff down to that place in that other season. Like, girl, you need to get your life together. You don't need to be on nobody's platform until you get your shit together and your lies actually turn into truth.
yes.
Oh yeah, and then every time he go up for his thank you, Parker boy, every year, oh my chestnut checkers, my what is that shit called? His podcast channel. That
Yeah,
shit do like one episode with him just sounding like Shaquille O'Neal, high as a motherfucker, tripping over his words. Hello, God.
I think that they like a lot of the thing with Dallas is they only chase during the season when the red lights no longer flashing, honey. Everybody goes back to their regular call center, job. They go back to their regular way of living. No more chasing. No people don't really carry on that chase because it's authentically not what they do or what they have passion to do.
My thing is this, and I'm going to sum it all up, and then I'm going to get out of here. I'll say this now, right? I stand by what I said in your interview that you did with me, the very first one. None of these, the reason why we can't grow with the cast, the reason why we can't get a cast that's actually locked in and consistent is because the creators, the owners, whoever, y'all ain't paying the girls. The contracts aren't legally binding. Let's tell the truth. And it's because of the lack of that's an incentive for people to do well. The same way on your job, when girl, that paycheck runs my life.
Yeah.
I'm coming to work. Monday through Friday, I have to be at work. I'm there. I take it when I'm there, I take it seriously. Most of the time. Okay, hello God. Most of the time when I didn't catch a bitch talking shit on live and I gotta read them for filth, hello God, while I'm at work. Okay? But at the end of the day, that is the incentive for me to show up and do the job that I signed up to do. So you guys can say you have contracts all fucking day long, but if there's not an incentive for these people that are your employees at this point, technically, they have no incentive to stick around. We haven't even kicked most of these girls in the ass yet. If you guys are these people that you claim to be, where is the proof? Where are your commercials, your sizzle reels? Where is your business selling points at? Where's these things at? You don't have them. At that moment, they would have never been my cast. Because we, at the end of the day, I know we love to chase drama, but it's called chasing reality.
You gotta have that balance.
and y'all don't have it. So if we pay the girls and also conduct ourselves professionally, because let's just tell the truth, it takes two to tango. I love Andario, but we gotta be very honest here. I can really believe that you don't get into this space of reality television without having a little bit of a messy spirit. Let's just tell the truth. I do believe that there's a lot of immature impropriety going on because y'all at one point, maybe not now because y'all done grown. It's been 6-7 years, damn it. So you better have grown. But I do believe, and it's easy to believe, that back in the day when you was a young cunt, you was cutting up. You were unprofessional. You did run the ship into the ground over and over again, thinking that your employees were your friends and your producers were your friends. So you may have cut up with them and did a lot of unprofessional shit, which is a lot of the reason why a lot of these people that were supposed to be employees took advantage of you and did all the things that they did by not respecting you and your brand and your platform. Because you, in your relationship with them, they couldn't take you seriously. Look at Q and how they report he was acting over there down to LA. Even while love Reese down, but look at what they said about Reese while Reese was over there. People are going to treat you according to how they experience you as a person. And if you show up with them under the guise of business, but they find that they can play around with you, everybody talk about how they hate their supervisor. Guess what? That's how it's supposed to be. That means you may hate that bitch, but you respect her enough not to be caught on your phone. Hello.
Okay.
Not to be gossiping in the hallway with Carol Ann and the girls. Not to be caught stealing from the job. Not to be fucking around while you on the clock or treating customers like trash. You know better. So I do believe that there were moments of very immature ass queens and cunts thinking you got friends instead of employees, girl. They don't respect the brand. They don't respect you. They playing with it. So if y'all girls came business minded up front and were consistent with it, I guarantee y'all wouldn't have half the drama that a lot of the girls been getting paid on YouTube to talk about your ass with. Hello? You wouldn't have to do lives to defend yourself or your character or what your intentions is. You wouldn't have to worry about even other cunts coming out the woodwork, even though you can't really stop them too much, because especially Oliver and Cute Girl, them hoes, they're just so delusional and cringeworthy, honey. They'll find anything to talk about. Even make
About
up lies.
chasing. That's what I'm saying. That's so weird to me, child.
But for the bulk of it, though, you wouldn't even find yourself in most of these situations because there's been a lot recorded, documented video. We've done lives and interviews and conversation think pieces about a lot of the bullshit that took place a lot of times throughout the journey of chasing all in the other web series. Look, Quran, Q going up for Quran and whatever that trash is. Girl, y'all had so much foolishness going on in that production, girl. So many lies and drama. You want to talk about lack of, we don't have no drama. We have spa.
Yeah, he was just
girl.
gassing it, child. At the end of the day, if the email came through to be back on chasing, your ass would accept without hesitation. Let's be truthful.
Girl, period. And is so proud of a platform that's so peaceful and loving. We have spa robes and we have meetings in the spa room. Girl, we're talking about a platform who has some of the most dangerous, probably wanted ass cast members in web reality history. Some of these girls should be in jail for the way that they've displayed themselves in public and beating up girls. And Quran too, you out here selling lies up the river, girl. Claim people stealing your equipment when you set it up, girl, because you needed an excuse not to finish a season. Right. So you want to sit here and gloat about, oh, you're not part of mess. That is the definition of mess. And don't act like you're not with the missiles, girl. You over here copying and pasting affirmations from Google and then trying to sell it to us in the book. The same way Lauren England saw her stale wig wearing ass down there to that now closed for good ass a restaurant trying to sell gold flaked wings for $100. Girl, bye.
I will never, child.
Girl, no one does now because it's been closed for a couple years now. She's lost in the life, girl. She's hovering in the ether of her own existence. No one knows where Lauren England is now.
Well, shout out to her and the wings, honey.
Child. No, the wings are gone, girl. That restaurant's officially closed permanently. If you go to Google, it says permanently closed. That broccoli's been done. Period. But all right, child. I thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for allowing me to come on. Shout out to the comments, those who agree with me and who don't. We'll probably go live tomorrow
Okay.
about this episode, child. And just finish the season off.
Do your thing, honey.
All
Do your
right.
thing.
Thank you, YB.
You welcome to enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.
I will.
Take care. All right, y'all. I saw your comment, Savion. Next time, baby. Next time. I might actually do these lives moving forward. I just got to pick the right time because I do know the Kiki panel comes on. Maybe I'll probably go live a little bit before them, or maybe I'll go live on Saturday. I don't know. But I think the rest of my reviews for Chasing will be live. That way, I would like to get more of an interactive engagement with y'all. That way, I could just share the link and y'all could just come up and share your thoughts at the end of the review. I'm living for that, and I used to do that. But, you know, my life's gotten a little busier and crazier, but things are balancing out now. So maybe we'll just get into that this way moving forward, okay? But I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you guys have been entertained and you've been living, girl. I definitely have gotten my life. Shout out again to Harviana for coming up and joining in the conversation. Helgan. And shout out to you all for tuning in. Oh, we got to go back to work this week. I know tomorrow's a holiday. Oh, my goodness. Most of you are off from work. Congratulations. Anyway, I appreciate you guys and I love you. Until next time, I hope you guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share all the things. Hope you know that health is wealth. Girl, I'm full, girl. That macaroni and cheese got me sad, honey, okay? Got me sad. Okay. What's up, Chloe? How you doing, boo? You like the live aspect? Yes, girl. I do, too. It gives me an opportunity to, you know, reach out and touch. Oh, reach out and touch. Oh, reach out and touch. Hallelujah. Okay. Again, thank y'all for joining me. And again, until next time, take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy your week. Y'all stay safe, girl. Stay safe. Especially my bottoms out there, honey. Be safe, girl. Don't let trade lead you to the path of darkness, girl. Literally. Like, make sure there's some light around. Okay, so people can at least, you know, see the direction of the screams and the yells before he takes you out. Okay? All right, my reckless dolls. All right, y'all. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.